Can you please get ready? Everyone's coming. Why should I have to change? Anushka, stop it, right? Everyone's coming for you. Okay. Are you seeing this? Apparently, it's my graduation party. You should come and follow me with a camera because I feel like I would be a very entertaining person.
That's tomorrow.
What? What do you mean?
You can do that tomorrow.
Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? How even when I'm on my own, I'll do entertaining stuff like, you know, smell my toes and stuff.
Let's go.
Take it easy and get some drinks. Else I should know my name in the morning.
What the hell? What? What?
I'm saying I should not know my name in the morning.
Okay, fine, great. Can you change right now? अच्छा कल सुबह का देखेंगे वो change. इधर आने.
Why should I have to change? I don't want to change.
Walk to the room.
And lie down on the bed.
No, just walk. Literally just
And
walk.
get naked.
So, ये पता नहीं कौन सी डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनती है इतनी सारी टीवी में.
I heard that. I know this girl doesn't know. Yeah.
I called my friends, I called these, I even called one of my friends. Then I get shit for calling you because I don't want to make my friend group. I will drop the cable.
My name is Anushka and I suffer from generalized anxiety disorder. So, growing up, I was a very restless, anxious child where I used to worry about how will my day be at school tomorrow, will my friends show up or not, will I have a good day or not, will anything bad happen tomorrow. And I would constantly need reassurance from my mother that tomorrow will be a good day. And my mom would always tell me that this is a phase that I will grow out of, that when I will grow up, I will feel better and ye sirf mera bachpan hai. And I truly believed that. And every time I would feel unwell, I would tell myself or reassure myself about the future and tell myself, oh ye mera bachpan hai aur jab main badi ho jaungi to main theek ho jaungi. That I used to spend most of my time in bed sniffing things that smelled nice because my mom would tell me that that would help with the nausea. So I would constantly be licking lemons, sniffing shampoo bottles, perfumes to help with the nausea. So every morning I would go, I would have my breakfast and I would feel my heart racing a lot. I would feel very uneasy and I think my body's reflex would be to just puke. So during this time, my weight fluctuated a lot. So in my 20s, I could see that I started showing a lot more physical symptoms. Before it was just in here, and as I got older, I started showing physical symptoms in terms of nausea, in terms of feeling very lightheaded, in terms of not being able to focus and not being able to concentrate. Where there came a time where when someone would be having a conversation with me, I had learned 3 or 4 phrases like, oh, yeah, really? Oh my God, that's crazy. Just so the other person could feel that, yes, I am keeping up with the conversation and I am listening to them. And so I never believed in taking medication, even though I come from a medical background. So I used medication and getting formally diagnosed as my very last resort. When my weight was fluctuating so much and I was constantly puking so much and I was just, the only word I can think of is bezar and miserable, that's when I went to the doctor. It helped temporarily. Yes, I felt relaxed, but there was no end to it because the dosage that helped 1 week or 1 month did not help the next month. And then when I would go back, they would say, okay, आप बढ़ा दें और आप उसके साथ जो हैं फलां दवाई ले लें. And I was like, when is this going to come to an end? I was always a very petite, small-framed child and person. I weighed 47 kilos, and with medication, I put on 17 kilos. So, like, okay, now I feel more relaxed, but now everyone's telling me I look ugly as balls. So, what do I do? So, I went back to my doctor and I said, yes, I feel better, but this weight is making me feel even worse about myself. Not only that, I felt slowed down because I could see that my thinking had slowed down, my overall pace had slowed down, everything else had slowed down, and I could not keep up with the things that I was doing prior to medication, and I could not keep up with the people in my class. I would constantly feel sleepy. There were days in class where I would sleep throughout class, and because I couldn't tell my teachers or anyone, they had labeled me as ये तो कामचोर है, ये तो lazy है, ये काम नहीं करेगी. And I said, okay.
Grey's Anatomy, we've got a new hot mama doctor in town. Ishki Sajjad, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm hungry. When I went back to my doctor, he was like, the weight will be an issue. ये तो सबके साथ होता है, whoever's on certain medication, you just have to live with it. आप exercise कर लें, आप फलाना कर लें. Long story short, I continued with the medication and my next mission became to lose the weight. I lost the weight, but then I could see that the dosage was no longer helping me because now that I had lost the weight, the dosage that I was following when I was 17 kilos heavier was now apparently too much for me. So then I had to cut it even more. Everything seemed fine. I'd been on medication and I felt a lot better. And then I started to experience very, very strange symptoms where I could not sleep and my behavior became very, very spontaneous and erratic, which it had never been. I had always been a planner and an overthinker, so it was very unlike me to want to do things at 4 a.m. or to talk to such an extent where my jaw would hurt, or to purposely do things to get myself into trouble. This went on for 2-3 months up until many incidences happened and I started noticing a pattern. When I went back to my doctor, they said, oh, this is a side effect of the antidepressant we've given you because now you have started to develop, these are classic bipolar symptoms. So I was like, I came in with an anxiety problem. Now you're telling me I'm bipolar? How and when did this happen? So then they said, oh, to counteract this, now we will give you a mood stabilizer. And I was like, how much medication are you people going to give me? And so against my doctor's advice, I cut down on my dosage and I started feeling a lot better, where I could sleep better, I could function better. But then came the problem where the anxiety started again.
I'm sorry, Habib University is not on the list.
Acha, who is? Huh? Who is?
Stop the hand thing. Mama, मैं इसके हाथ काट दूंगी.
क्या मतलब?
You know that weird thing she does with where she rips the skin off her fingers.
Yeah.
अब एग्जाम खत्म हो गए.
अनुष्का देखो, सुलेमान भी ऐसी करते थे. इसको खुद ही आपको छोड़ना पड़ेगा. Nobody can help you.
Okay.
You go in thinking, yes, this is the answer to my problems, but unfortunately it is not, because you are throwing money, okay, literally throwing money at a problem you don't think is going to get solved. You're popping pills every single day in the hopes that maybe one day I'll get better.
We love you. क्या भाई, क्या चाहिए और आपको? Literally like. तो अब ये कैमरा सब कुछ ले लिया है, सब कुछ देख लिया है.
Lift your shirt. Flash.
In my family, in my house, there were people who had different opinions. My parents were of the opinion that you are going through a rough time and this will pass. If you've never undergone it, you have nothing to say. All you can do is sit there and say, what? You know, because it doesn't make any sense to them. So I think my siblings were very nice and welcoming about it in the way where they would just sit and hear me speak. But the issue would come that so many times I used to be scared of speaking because I used to say, मैं कुछ बोलूँगी, ये लोग डर जाएंगे. because the kind of things that I used to say, like I used to start pacing around in the middle of the night, and I used to say things like, you know what, I want to pack a bag and I want to leave the house and I'll come back in a few days, you guys don't worry. So they used to go ballistic and absurd ke, oh my god, what are you talking about, tum khudkushi kar logi, tum flana kar logi. So I think it was difficult for them to watch, but also that is how my body was reacting to it at the time. My grandmother was of the opinion कि आपका ईमान कमज़ोर है, so that is why this is happening.
ये अपने नवासी नवासों को बोलते हैं कि मजहब में लिखा नहीं आपको करना पड़ेगा, वो बोलते नहीं भाई. जो आप लोगों ने मुझे बोला था कि माँ की बात माननी पड़ेगी, माँ आपकी माँ चाहती है आप डॉक्टर बनो, हमारे मजहब में लिखा है आपको माँ की बात माननी होगी, कोई और नहीं मानता फैमिली में बात.
लेकिन
मैंने बात मान ली.
किसका फायदा हुआ?
क्या
फायदा
अब सबका फायदा हुआ?
नहीं,
अब सबका फायदा हुआ, मेरा भी फायदा हुआ, लेकिन अब मुझे सबसे प्रेजेंट चाहिए.
दादा ने 5 लाख दिए और क्या चाहिए?
अरे वो तो सब.
मेंटल हेल्थ के मतलब तो मैं ये समझ रही हूँ कि भाई आदमी परफेक्ट हो, दिमागी तौर पे भी होश में हो और बात जब करे तो सही हो, यानी हर चीज़ उसका परफेक्ट होना चाहिए. लेकिन मैं इस बात को समझती हूँ कि बच्चों की परवरिश जब होती है उसी वक्त से उनका मेंटल तरीका या जो उनका उठना बैठना वो उसी वक्त सिखाया जाता है. बड़े होके इसको सिखाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. इसका भी बहुत बड़ा फ़र्क पड़ता है जब पेरेंट्स में अलहदगी होती है या पेरेंट्स में आपस में एका ना हो, तो उससे बच्चों के बड़े होने में बहुत फ़र्क पड़ता है.
Being an elder sibling put a little bit of more pressure on me, but also being the child of a single parent.
I don't think it 100% depends on someone's upbringing or if their parents were in the picture. Yes, of course, to some extent it does. But we also have to recognize that certain psychiatric conditions are inherited, that they are genetic, that they run in the family.
तो ये जो आजकल कहते हैं कि भाई हज़ारों रुपए जा रहे हैं साइकेट्रिस्ट को हर महीने दिखा रहे, मैं इसको बिल्कुल बिलीव नहीं करती. देखिए, नाम बर्दाश्त का है. मेरा तो ज़िंदगी का फार्मूला है कि आप बर्दाश्त करोगे तो अच्छी तरह चलोगे. जब डिप्रेशन किसी चीज़ में फील होता है कि भाई यहाँ डिप्रेशन, तो मैं कोशिश करती हूँ मैं बाहर जाऊँ, दोस्तों में मिलूँ, हंसी बोलूँ, तो मैं सही हो जाती हूँ.
There is a major difference between मैं upset feel कर रहा था या कर रही थी and being depressed. We need to understand that मैं upset था is just a slight fluctuation in mood. Depression is a proper mental illness and mental disorder. This is not a one solution or one problem fits all kind of thing. कि जी, okay, if it helps you, that is great, but it is not helping someone else, and that is also okay. And so they are looking for extra medical help or extra help, and that is normal.
मेरा छोटा बेटा हार्वर्ड से पढ़ा हुआ है और साइकेट्रिस्ट है सैन फ्रांसिस्को में. जी हाँ, मैं खुद बड़े साइकेट्रिस्ट की भी, मगर मैं अभी भी मैं कहती हूँ मैं इस सब्जेक्ट को नहीं मानती. मैंने तो यही कहा है कि मैं बिल्कुल राजी नहीं, तो पागलों का डॉक्टर बनो, तुम खुद ही पागल हो जाओगे.
The term पागलों का doctor is very common now, and we hear it a lot. But I think, as a society or someone who goes to a psychiatrist, saying paglon ka doctor is very, very insensitive, because people who go to psychiatrists are not pagal. But what I would say is, someone who has experienced this, people make you feel like you're insane, which then makes you start questioning and contemplating if you really are insane. And then you are in that cycle of they are treating me like I'm insane, so I must be insane. So I think now we need to realize that this is as normal as the flu. And when someone undergoes it, I think there's nothing that anyone can say. There's nothing anyone can do, because this is an individual fight. You know, there was nothing that my parents threw all the money they could. My mother held me and hugged me as much as she could. They tried telling me that it would be okay as much as they could, but it didn't really help. So all I would say is that I wish that everyone was a little more understanding, and I would just say a little more cooperative, as opposed to reaching the conclusion ke crazy, Don't leave alone at under all circumstances and treat like mental hospital patient.
देखो, एक तो सबसे ज़्यादा अपने ईमान को मजबूत रखें, और सबसे बड़ी बात हमारे लिए कुरान है, हमारे लिए नमाज है। अगर आप दिल लगा के नमाज़ पढ़े और ये सोच के पढ़ें कि हम अल्लाह के सामने कर पढ़ रहे हैं, हमें कोई तकलीफ़ नहीं है, तो जब आप नमाज़ पढ़ के उठोगे तो आपको खुद को फील होगा कि मुझे कुछ नहीं है।
And my argument used to be that, okay, but I am praying and I am fasting and I am doing all of these things, but then why is this happening to me then? To which they never had a response.
मुझे कैंसर हुआ, और जब मैंने अपने सुना कि मुझे मेरा पॉजिटिव आया और कैंसर हुआ, तो मैं यहीं आके मैं जयनमाज़ में बैठ के अल्लाह ताला से लड़ाइयाँ की, रोने लगी कि ऐसे क्यों हुआ मुझे, और अब मुझे हुआ तो तुम अल्लाह ताला तुमने ही ठीक करना है। मतलब जैसे नहीं लड़ाई करते बाकायदा, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इसको होके 15-20 साल हो गए, मैं माशाल्लाह बिल्कुल ठीक हुई। इसी तरह कोरोना भी मुझे हुआ, तो सब कुछ हुआ। इस एज में आई हूँ तो इस वक्त तक हर चीज़ हुई, लेकिन एक तो मैंने नमाज नहीं छोड़ा, अल्लाह का रस्सी को मजबूत पकड़े रहा। अगर आपको अल्लाह पे बिलीव है, आपका आधे से ज़्यादा तकलीफ़ और गम और सब, अगर अल्लाह से आप बात करोगे, आपको लगेगा कि कुछ भी नहीं है मुझे। और चीज़ों को इग्नोरेंस अपने लाइफ को बनाओ, इसको इग्नोर करो ज़्यादातर चीज़ों को। उनको आप पकड़ के बैठ जाओगे तो आप पे एंजाइटी भी होगी और दुख भी होगा, और याद करते जाओगे। इग्नोरेंस इज द बेस्ट पॉलिसी। हर चीज़ को
मे बी आप इग्नोर कर सकती हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते। जैसे कि बहुत सारे लोग रेस में भाग सकते हैं, बहुत सारे लोग नहीं भाग सकते। तो इट्स ओके, बहुत सारे लोग इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते। दिस इज़ नॉट एनी वे, दिस इज़ नॉट अ प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच टू हैव कि आप कितने टाइम तक इग्नोर करेंगे। And for people who have been properly diagnosed or who are struggling, they know how painful every second, every minute and every hour is. How long are you going to ignore it for? As well, today I called my doctor because I knew my medication isn't working again, and I called to book an appointment. And then I thought, how long am I going to do this for? Because I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, because when your medication stops working, the symptoms start becoming more physical. And for me, I start getting physically very tired. Like I have a lot of difficulty moving. I have difficulty getting out of the bed. So today I was just thinking, how many more times am I going to do this? It's been 2 years since I've been on medication, and every time it's, okay, now try more. And I was like, for how much longer am I going to try more and more? So I thought, maybe it's time that I give up on medication and maybe just bear with it. But that's how I genuinely feel right now also in this moment, that I feel tired and I'm tired of trying, but I have to try. And I think, I don't know how things are on the other side, but I always think that maybe if I was on the other side, it would be a bit easier.
All the sorrows and the stress and the anxiety.
Best of luck.